This escape room enters. So we're going to open up. You'll have gotten your instructions. Now inside of here, you're going to look at everything that's in here. You're not going to take anything off the wall, but for instance, there's a clue on the wall. If you can figure it out, that'll help you. You see there's this basket. It has a lock on it. You're going to need this basket. You're going to need to get into the lock. There's other pieces here like this clock and this cool old phone system. You can pick it up and look around, see if there's any markings on it, but you're not going to need to tear into it. Okay, there's also all sorts of little knicky-knackies on the bookshelf. You're going to want to look through every book to see if there's any kind of a clue. I'll give you one clue on this room. If you look down in this book right here, and this is pretty standard for a lot of the rooms, is that they'll have something with a book. If you open this book up, there is an iPhone in it with a message on the back with explanations of something you're going to need to do later, okay? So you'll want to bring anything you find in here that you think is important, you're going to want to bring into the next room. Get all the clues you can, and then this one, for instance, out here somewhere is going to be this key. When you open it up, you get into the next part of the room. Now, one thing to remember, there's the light switch. One thing to remember is you can go back and forth. If you think you've lost something out here or forgotten something, you can go back and forth between the rooms.
Okay, so once you get into the room, you're going to see this room is staged as a Midwest cabin in the woods. The theme for this one is you're stuck in a tornado trying to get out of the house to get to the basement. So the room is going to completely change. It's going to be a completely different theme. You're going to come in here with your partners. You're going to look through everything. You're going to look under things. You don't need to tear anything apart. Everything's pretty much a clue or stage dressing, so make sure that you take a look at everything multiple times. If something looks important, it is important. That's pretty much how that works. There's nothing in here that's an accident. There's certain things like this pillow, which is a red herring. I'll let you know that. It's got a bunch of numbers on it. They don't mean anything, but you might come in and decide, oh, those numbers have to be to a padlock of some sort. They're not in this case, but you never know. So you have to try things. You have to look for the clues, use those clues to help you solve puzzles and get out of the room. So you're going to see containers like this with padlocks on them. This ammo box has a coffee table, has a padlock on it. So there's going to be keys for those somewhere in this room. It's up to you to find those. And yeah, so this game, and as most games, are fairly linear. There's some times people will solve puzzles in a different order than I had intended that they would, but that's okay. It all turns out the same in the end. So however you choose to get from point A to point B, that's good on you. The window is locked, but of course you're not locked in the room. You're free to leave at any time. So, and I think if you really wanted to get out the window, you could. The lock's not that great, so don't worry about that. But
this
yeah.
experience is that you're going to hear a story. You're going to hear a story about why you're going into the room, what caused you to walk up into the room, and what you need to do to get out, or why you need to get out of the room. I really like this setup for this room because it reminds me of home in the Midwest with the tornado. So for those of you who remember the story, what was cool is it added various different effects. We actually had some noises that remind you of a tornado as well. So the cool thing about the room is just the opportunity to know that you're walking into a different experience, even though it's a room in our house. The other thing that happens in this room is time flies by. In other words, you're going to be given anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes for you to have the experience of escaping our room, but 45 minutes will go just like that. In fact, we'll likely have a little timer so you'll know how much time you have throughout the course of the game so that you can decide whether or not to ask for a clue. A little hint, clues are a good thing, they'll help you through the game. And lastly, it's a great opportunity to just have some fun on a Saturday or Sunday afternoon with friends. This room, even if you think, oh gosh, I hate puzzles, I'm not a puzzle person, it's a good opportunity just to enjoy yourself and have a blast in our home. So I hope that everyone will come and join us and have a blast and give to a good
The
cause.
size of the room that's going to be used, some of the other areas of the video have already showed it. We wanted to show some bodies actually physically in here to show that really 3 or maybe even 4 adults can fit comfortably in here. Everyone can be looking at different clues and talking to each other and doing a little bit of teamwork. And that, so to do it with friends is kind of fun. Have a drink before or after, maybe go to dinner, come over, do the game room, and see how good you do.